staggered deadlift, then two-handed row, then pick up the weight, clean into a lunge, shoulder press, back down into the lunge. Around the body, the different muscles in the core have to stay active to compensate, and for the changing weight. And as a result, the core has to compensate for the offset load. Then there is shoulder isometric. Hello everybody, back at the park. It's Victoria Day 2025 in Canada, which is May 19th. And it's a Monday, but I have today off because it's a public holiday. In any case, it's around 4:04 p.m. Yeah, today I'm going to do stuff with my heavy club, 35 pound. Then I have my 45 pound kettlebell, my 25 pound juggling kettlebell, my 15 pound mace, and my 25 pound mace. I want to focus a lot on overhead pressing with kettlebells, different ways of pressing it, and some lower body complexes probably. In any case, to start off, doing something light and something to just get the blood flowing. So doing a two-handed 360 to single-handed 360 alternated, and repeat that 10 times on each side. Doing something relatively high repetition, but light enough to where I get blood going in my entire body, get my core, shoulders, and back activated because it's going to be used a lot today. After 10 each side of that with my 25 pound kettlebell, doing 10 external rotation clean or outside rotation clean to press, and while pressing I'm facing outside, kind of going with the direction of the clean. Sometimes I do it alternated, where I do an outside rotation to an inside rotation press, but just opting for this time. So yeah, a lot of shoulders right away at the beginning of the workout, and going to do a lot more. Also with kettlebell pressing, there is a lot of chest at play too, because so you see at the bottom, the kettlebell in rack position stretches out the upper chest. So while I don't do a whole lot of direct chest work, I would say I have a pretty decent chest, and I think That's attributed to the fact that when I do a lot of kettlebell pressing, and when you do kettlebell pressing, if you rack the weight properly, your upper chest is fully stretched. And so you get a lot of chest work. Without really having to directly focus on it. But yeah, going to do 4 to 5 sets of that, and then on to a little bit more pressing and lower body stuff. So for the next set of movements, using my 45 pound and 25 pound kettlebell, first I'm going to get the 45 to shoulder rack, then I'm going to snatch the 25 pound overhead, and while holding it overhead I'm going to do 5 presses with the 45. After 5, I'm going to hold the 45 pound overhead and do 5 quick reps with the 25. Then switch sides and repeat. So there's a lot going on. For one, there is an offset load. One side's heavier than the other. And then, as a result, the core has to compensate for the offset load. Then there is shoulder isometric happening with holding one kettlebell overhead. Then there's like your abs have to stay active because the body has a tendency of wanting to relax and kind of lean back, and to prevent that your abs have to stay engaged. So yeah, just all in all, a lot going on with that movement while also having a shoulder component. Then with my 25 pound mace, I'm going to do 360 to side squat. Doing this 5 times on each side. Targeting a little bit of adductors. Then after 5, one more 360. I'm going to do offset loaded toe squats for 5. So holding it like this not only engages the core, but the chest and the biceps too. So yeah, a pretty long complex, but by the end of it, a lot of muscles have been worked, and yeah, that was my 3rd set. Going to do one more set of this, and then on to the next.
Easier now. I can't breathe.
So for the next set of movements, starting with something called a waiter or cannonball press. So I'm going to get the kettlebell into an open palm position. So this is why it's called like a waiter press, because it's like how a waiter holds plates. And press it 6 times. So with being in an open palm position, the fingers have to stay active to keep the kettlebell centered. It also wants to roll around, and so you have to press very strictly to avoid instability. And so the shoulder, you can like focus a lot more on the contraction, and mostly because you have to, otherwise the kettlebell is going to fall off. So yeah, it's a good exercise for shoulder stability, and I suspect like it would help with like push throwing. So the thing that comes to mind is a shot putter. Shot put is a I guess sport where the individual throws the weight with an open hand position, and it's like a combination press and throw. I suspect doing presses with an open palm would help with something like shot put. After that, with my 35-pound club, I'm going to do shield cast to whatever that is, and a shoulder rested squat. I'm just going to call it a front. So here with the shield cast and the swing, there's a lot of shoulders and back and core all around, with the weight moving around the body. The different muscles in the core have to stay active to compensate, and for the changing weight from side to side, and also to facilitate the swinging movement. I'm going for 6 each side of this as well. When doing the squats, I'm staying on my toes to exaggerate the use of the quads and to put me in a deep knee bend position. Anyway, that's what I'm doing for now. 5 sets and then on to the next. So for the final set of movements before I move into juggling or something like that, I'm going to have the 45-pound or heavier kettlebell on the outside of my leg, and then the lighter 25 pound on the inside. I'm going to keep one leg forward, and essentially it's going to be a complex. So staggered deadlift, then two-handed row, then pick up the weight, clean into a lunge, shoulder press, back down into the lunge, and repeat. So pretty much a lot going on. Staggered deadlift, posterior chain, row, lats, clean into lunge, press is legs and shoulders. Doing that 3 times on each side. I'm starting to wonder if I only did 2 on the right side. Could be wrong, but whatever. When I talk as I do these things, sometimes I lose count. Then with my 15-pound mace, going to do 10 reverse mills or outside mills. Switching sides. And then 10 single-handed 360s. And switching sides. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do before I move into some kettlebell juggling. So yeah, that's what's up next. Alright, on to some kettlebell juggling. Pretty good workout. Nice sunny day, not too hot either. Probably will go on a walk after this, but let's just get to juggling. I was going good. I guess that's a decent note to end it on. We're gonna do some, I guess, abs in the park or something. Maybe some steel mace freestyle actually to finish off. But yeah, that's it for today's video. See you all in the next one.